you for tuning in with Chlorine King. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss anything. If you need any help with your business, then join my Patreon, links below, where you will improve your business and get exclusive discounts with my partners in the industry. Check out the sponsors for this video. Scammer will revolutionize the efficiency of your business and communication for your clients all in one modern and easy to use app. With everything you need to run your pool business with software that rocks, click the link below to learn more. Riptide Pool Vacuum Systems will allow you to service more pools per day and feel more refreshed at the end of it. With the blow-off proof bags, the most powerful vac head, awesome transport rack, and so much more, check out the link below. Now, let's get to the video. What's up everybody, Chlorine King here. Thanks for tuning in for another video. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. The point of this video is what I do during the estimation process for new service accounts. So what I'm gonna do is talk about some things that I look for, and of course, you know, the rate I arrive at is gonna be way different depending on what area of the country you're in, but nonetheless, I'm gonna show you what I do and some things that changed my service quote. So let's go ahead and get started. So I had a great conversation with a commenter on one of my YouTube videos. I actually think it's about pool estimation. And so what is a pool estimate? Everyone thinks, oh, it's just I go back, I look at the pool and I give a price. Well, there's a little more to it than that. I always call it a presentational interview, because at the end of the day, you're going there trying to sell your company, yourself, the services you do. It's really an interview, and you got to present it properly to sound attractive to the homeowner so they hire you. So what I'm going to do is sort of talk through what I do throughout the process, and then at the end of the day, we're going to look at the pool and give a final rate for that pool. So let's go ahead and start with the very first thing from as soon as we pull up. So here on my truck getting out. Just trying to make this as realistic as possible. Always lock the thing. I've actually been robbed while I was doing a pool inspection. Now this house here is vacant because it's one of the builders I work for, but typically, you know, I'd go through the gate if there is one. I'll go up the front door, introduce myself and all that. Tip number one, if you're going and knocking on the door, you know, they haven't already given you the go-ahead to just head on back, always take your sunglasses off, make that initial eye contact. They really appreciate that. They walk back with you. At this point, after you do friendly introduction, I normally try to find something that's nice for their backyard to make it personable, like I'm paying attention more than just, hey, I'm coming to give a bid. So for instance, I'll make a comment about these trees, how nice they look and how nice it makes the backyard. You know, just, oh, that's nice, you know, I really appreciate that. And then I'll go into, hey, do you currently have a pool service company? And then the whole point of this is you want to get the client to talk. And the reason why is you can mold your sales pitch, your interview process to, you know, what they're having issues with. So if a client's like, yeah, you know, I have a pool company, but I'm not happy with them because they never show up, or, you know, they never keep my pool right, it always looks off and stuff like that. You can actually tailor your sales pitch to that. Oh, well, if they don't show up every time, or you don't know they're showing up, well, guess what? With me, you do, because we have a software that emails a report after each visit. You know, so you work things in like that, so you're there not only introducing yourself, but also solving the concerns they have with the current company to better increase the opportunity for you to gain the account. So that's something I like to do, and I'll just run through the list, talk about how we can improve. I never talk negatively about the other company. I've had several clients tell me they really appreciate that, because it's just it's not really nice to do. And at the end of the day, if other people are going to do it, that's great. It's something I don't do, and that's something I advise you guys not to do. It's just a good professional thing to do. So anyways, let's get back to the pool. So first thing I look at is the size. I mean, this is a fairly large pool, and obviously pollen season is here in full effect, as you guys can see. So basically, the first thing I do is I look at the size of the pool. This is roughly a 25,000 gallon pool off the top of my head. Of course, I haven't measured it yet, but that's just first appearance. I look up here for trees. Now, the camera might be hard to tell depth perception, but I mean, those trees up there are pretty far away. So I shouldn't see a ton of debris in there. Of course, pollen's always going to be there. And then, of course, these trees are in the other yard as well, pretty far back. so we shouldn't have a lot of debris in the pool there. So again, just look at the pool, look at the surrounding foliage, and then one thing I like to do too is just walk back to the equipment and just take a look to make sure it's sized appropriately and all that kind of stuff. So this is nicer new equipment, sized appropriately. It does have a salt system here, so that is something that you know, I take into consideration too when I'm bidding on a pool. So the fact that they do have appropriate equipment would knock a couple dollars off. So normally how I walk up to a pool, they already know my minimum. My office administrator quotes the minimum over the phone to basically filter out anyone that doesn't want to pay at least our minimum rate. So I know at least I'm going to go out for my minimum, which right now is $150, and I can get the account if they say, yeah, that's fine. And B, it gives me wiggle room because I'm saying this is what we start at. So when I go out to the pool, I look, okay, is this a small screen-in pool? Does it have a salt system? Does it have appropriately sized equipment? If all those things check off, they're more than likely going to be my minimum, because again, I charge higher than most people in my area. So I don't want to go too high for a more simple pool. Now in this case, with it being uncovered, you know, a good amount of debris in there and all that, I think about how much time it's going to take. So for my technician to do a good job here, I would say at least 35 to 45 minutes doing a full service, not including filter cleanings, all that. So, you know, I got to factor in the employee's rate and all that kind of stuff, and the average time they're going to spend here. Then I take a look at the chemical costs, and because it's a larger pool, obviously going to consume more. And as we know, the prices for chemicals right now are outrageous. So take that in consideration. Then I ask them, you know, do they have dogs? Anything like that that could also further inhibit the pool from running properly, because as we all know, a dog's equivalent to dozens of humans. I think it's 52 is the number off the top of my head. So that brings a lot of gunk in the pool that your chemical is going to have to counter, which just consumes more chemicals. So with all that in consideration, I think about the time, the chemicals. Are there any outside factors that we can't control? And I arrive at a price. So for this pool, I would bid at 180, which is very high for my area. It may not be for some northerners here, but you know, we have 3 more pools on the same street, so not a big deal. Now, if there is a huge canopy over this house, which there isn't, fortunately, you know, obviously that would play in consideration too for what I bid on the pool. That would only make the costs go up. But again, if the pool is half the size, screened in, with all good equipment and salt system, I'll bid closer to my minimum 150, and then just go from there. Also, another tip, even though you state your minimum is X dollars, don't ever bid that. Always bid $10 more. It's just more of a way to get a little more out of each account to make it worth your while, and make sure when chemical prices do increase, you're not having to constantly increase the rates. So that's what I do through the process of my estimates. I hope that helps a little bit. Of course, there's a million variables for how to actually bid on the pool. Those are just some little tips and tricks for my process, and it's been successful so far. Our company's doing very well just from using those simple estimating techniques. So stay tuned for more videos, like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.
Say just listen, don't make a sound. Chlorine King, let me tell you, they the best around, yeah. Take a dip in the H2O, the pool is where I'm at, no other place to go. I need some ice in my cup, now let the water flow. If things get hotter, then I gots to go. Humid like a sauna, cause we up in the south. Everything is drying up, headed up to the clouds. Let me tell you where I'm from, no other formula allowed. Before I go, it's one thing for sure, I'ma have a little fun with this H2O. Mix the hydrogen and oxygen, you got it going on, a little H2O. You know you can't go wrong, embedded everywhere. It's the molecules of life, just add some H2O, and it'll be alright.